Hey guys, how you doing? Fragrance Professor back at it again. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to share with you an iconic women's fragrance that was sort of reinvented about 35 years ago. I say reinvented because the original formula came out actually over 100 years ago. It was in 1921, and the fragrance that I'm talking about is Chanel Number 5. And this is again one of the oldest, most iconic women's scents out there. It was revered for several generations now, but around, I believe it was 1986. So, that's 35, 36, something like that, some odd years ago now. It was actually sort of reinvented, as I say, into an eau de parfum. The original was an EDT, and in 86, Jacques Polge, who is another iconic nose in the business, came out with the EDP. So this is the EDP, and this was actually a gift that I gave my wife for Christmas, and she's worn it a few times. She's not actually much of a fragrance person, so it was a bit of a challenge actually to find something that she would like and wear. And so we went out to the mall, went out to one of the local department stores, let her sample some things, and give me an idea about how some of these things smelled as well. And we sort of settled on Chanel Number 5 in the EDP formula. Now, she has the EDT. It was given to her by a friend probably 5 years ago. She's worn it, enjoyed it, but it didn't have much staying power. The longevity sort of, I think, lacked something. It would fade over probably the first couple of hours and really was not much more than a skin scent after that. And so the EDP seemed a little heavier, a little denser, and smelled really close to the original EDT, but just maybe a little heavier and a little richer, as I said. So we picked that up, gave it to her, and I told her, I'd like to review it and share my initial thoughts. The EDP actually is pretty close in terms of presentation. You have the iconic bottle here. Now, if you are familiar with the EDT, you probably know that the juice is a little bit lighter. So here it's a darker, richer, sort of yellowish color. And to my nose, it smells a lot like the original. But again, it's just sort of modernized and sort of this modern twist. I'm going to spray a little bit, and this is kind of expensive, so I don't want to waste too much, but I like that. It's that classic sort of aldehydic, soapy, powdery sort of Chanel Number 5 that a lot of us have at least smelled at one point or another. But it kind of gives it more, I don't know, of a richer scent, if you will, one that you can expect to last maybe at least 4, 5, 6 hours before having to touch up. This is one that you probably would, if you're a lady and you're wearing this to the office or some sort of work setting, you probably would not want to overdo it. I would say with the EDT, you can pretty much spray away and it'll burn off, but the EDP is noticeably heavier to my nose, and I get that right off the bat. Noticeably heavier. In fact, the squirt that I just sprayed in the air is still lingering around, and I still have that scent bubble as I'm trying to speak with you here. So noticeably heavier, noticeably richer. Now, if you are not familiar with Chanel Number 5, and again, this is a classic, iconic, timeless female perfume. It leans almost exclusively feminine. So this is one that, again, I wouldn't recommend necessarily as a unisex fragrance, but the aldehydes, the florals really come through. But right away, right up top, I get the aldehydes, I get the powder, I get that sort of that soapy scent or that sensation. But that tends to burn off fairly quickly, I would say within the first 10, 15 minutes. And then you're more into the florals Has a variety of different florals. And then in the base, you have sandalwood, patchouli, maybe a touch of vetiver, if I'm not mistaken. So a nice, well-rounded, well-crafted scent, which is probably exactly what you would expect from this. So if you're in the market for Chanel No. 5 or any Chanel fragrance, we sampled several out of the Chance line, like Chance Altendre and so forth. And they didn't really do it for her. They were just a little bit too sweet. So if you're looking for a classic Chanel fragrance and you don't necessarily want to go with the uh, older EDT, again, the lighter, older EDT, I would suggest this EDP. And again, it's one that you can wear. People will recognize it if they've ever smelled Chanel No. 5. They'll recognize it, but it's a bit of a twist. Okay, so puts a bit of a modern twist on it, as I said. So again, this is one that you're not going to find it cheap. Just you're going to have to accept it. I looked online. I've mentioned many a time here on the channel that I pick up the majority of my fragrances through online discounters. I looked this up, and they were not discounted. Suffice it to say, they were just not discounted online. And so I actually ordered this from Sephora, I believe it was, full price. So, just you have to accept that if you're going to go with something like this. But it wasn't outrageous. So I kind of say that tongue in cheek, but it was not outrageous, compared to maybe some of the other niche fragrances out there that are running, $250, $300. It was not that. I think I paid $165 or so. And this is, I'm trying to see it's a 3.4 ounce. So I believe that's 100 ml. So $165 for a 100 ml of Eau de Parfum, Chanel No. 5. So again, your mileage may vary, but I think we will definitely like this. I think she'll enjoy wearing it. I'll enjoy smelling it. And it's one that, you can kind of be proud of and look at it, and has a nice presentation, has the iconic label, and, hopefully she'll enjoy that for a number of years. So, okay, well, let's leave it there. Hope you enjoyed that. If you picked up any new fragrances or bought any new fragrances over the holidays, I'd love to know. Drop me a line down below. I'd love to hear what you picked up or what you gave over the last couple of weeks. And, if you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you subscribe. Just click that subscribe button down below. All right. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Catch you back in the next video. All right. Bye-bye.